So lesson 2 will help you develop your outline for your report or your proposal. We'll start with grouping related questions and answering them. We'll write summary statements, and then write section headings and subheadings. And as I mentioned, there are some activities, longer activities in the workbook that lives also in the Write It Well Academy, reports, proposals, and procedures. So step 1 is to group related questions and answer them. So no matter how complex your information is, if you can think about your readers' questions and answer them, you will be able to create an easy to follow outline for your multi-section report. So the first thing, review the list of questions you've identified. Then, group related questions together, dividing them under 2 or maybe more themes. Delete any unnecessary or redundant questions, applying these criteria. Does this question help readers grasp the document's central topic? Does this question advance my business needs? Now, deleting information is as important as including it. Oftentimes, people will write long documents and won't go through the process of deleting the unnecessary information. And sometimes people have either an emotional connection to the work or the writing. If you need to save another draft of that document, go ahead and do it. But the one that you're going to share should be as lean as possible. We like to use Mark Twain's quote. He had a famous statement. He said, "I was going to send you a short letter, but I didn't have time. So I sent a long one instead." Now, I think that really frames the way we communicate today. It is much more difficult to write a short memo, a short report, a short proposal than it is to write a long one. But do the hard work of deleting unnecessary or redundant information. Okay? So the next thing is that you'll briefly identify the overall questions, adding details as items in a list format. So a numbered list, as you recall, is great for items that follow chronological order, and a bulleted list, if you can fit them all under a single heading, could arrange them. So in other words, numbered lists show priority or sequence, and bulleted lists shows that all items have equal value. Okay, so we're a big proponent of lists, and we think you should use lists in reports and proposals when appropriate. We'll talk about that. So arrange these questions and answer sets in whatever order seems most logical to you. Make sure you answer your readers' questions and advance your business needs. Step 2 is to write summary statements. Here are 2 examples. The first one is to answer a question. Your section heading is plant opening delayed until November. And the summary statement is, although the original schedule stipulated that the new processing plant would begin operations on September 20th, several key pieces of equipment will not be ready until mid-July. We now plan to open the plant on November 1st. You may write the summary statement and then go back and write the section heading, or you may find that it's easier to write the section heading and then the summary statement. Either is fine. Here's another example. You may want to establish a theme. Your section heading is benefits package, and your audience, your reader, wants to know more. So your summary statement is, below you will find details of each benefits package, including eligibility criteria and enrollment procedures. Now, you were able to come up with these section headings because you already thought carefully about who your reader is and what questions they will have. Okay, so let's say that you conducted a customer survey and you have brainstormed all of the content about the information that you've collected, and these are the questions that you're going to answer. You have all the content here. How are you going to turn your section content into a summary statement? Again, we're focusing on step 2. How do you write that summary statement that your audience is going to, that your reader is going to read right away? Here's an example. Okay, we received responses from almost 1,200 customers, about half the customers who received surveys. Almost 1,000 customers prefer paying by credit card, and more than 800 would like a longer grace period. Okay, so this is your summary statement based on all of the information that you've collected. Step 3 is to write section headings and subheadings. So I showed you a few examples already of section headings, but this is an example without any subheadings. And in today's busy business environment, I can tell you that your reader will likely look at this document as think of it as a long, dense document and have trouble engaging with it. Subheadings will make a very big difference. I think we all agree that this visually is much more inviting. So establishing a new corporate identity, we have a background section, and then we have a section with our approach and a subheading there, interview key managers and customers. Okay, so subheadings are a great way to break up your content. A single page without breaks, without paragraph breaks, without subheading breaks, will make your reader either swipe or minimize or move on to the next task ahead. A great way to apply this learning is to download the workbook, Reports, Proposals, and Procedures, and try the exercise on page 34, which is called a $1 million proposal. Great way, again, to roll up your sleeves and engage with this content.